A unique struggle marks the daily lives of Afro-Palestinians residing in the Old City of Jerusalem as they face the double burden of being both Palestinian and of African descent. Living under constant surveillance by Israeli forces, individuals like Gibran and Rua endure frequent interrogations, night raids, and the constant fear of detention. Their experiences highlight the challenges of the Afro-Palestinian community, with youth like Gibran stressing education as a vital tool against occupation. Their history is intertwined with the Palestinian struggle, showcasing their crucial role in resistance. Additionally, solidarity between Afro-Palestinians and Black Americans highlights the universality of their struggles. Welcome to yet another exciting video about the realities of being Black in Palestine. In this exclusive documentary, we explore the untold stories and experiences of Afro-Palestinian communities to uncover what it's truly like to navigate life as a Black individual in Palestine. But before we delve into this important discussion, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on thought-provoking videos like this. And to our returning viewers, welcome back. Now, let's dive into the heart of the matter. Number 1. Historical background. In the late 19th century, African communities moved to Palestine, creating a unique chapter in its history. These communities came from places like Sudan and Ethiopia, drawn by the religious importance of Jerusalem and the chances for a better life. They settled mainly in cities like Jerusalem, Jaffa, and Haifa, bringing their own languages, foods, and traditions. The setting up of Afro-Palestinian communities in Jerusalem's Old City shows how African migration has left a lasting mark on Palestine. In the historic streets of Jerusalem, these communities found a place to call home and added to the city's diverse culture. The Old City of Jerusalem was a melting pot of different cultures, drawing people from around the Mediterranean and the Middle East. Among them were African migrants who made the Old City their own, creating lively neighborhoods filled with shared traditions, religion, and trade. One of the notable Afro-Palestinian communities in the Old City was the Sudanese Quarter, named after the Sudanese people who lived there. Located near the Bab al-Majlis Gate, this area became a center of African culture, bustling with trade and social gatherings. African and Palestinian traditions blended together in neighborhoods like the Sudanese Quarter, creating a unique cultural mix. From the sounds of traditional music to the smells of Sudanese cooking in the air, Afro-Palestinian life brought a new energy to the ancient city. However, their arrival happened during a time when European countries were trying to control the region. This made life hard for the African migrants, as they faced discrimination and rules set by the colonial powers. Still, they didn't give up. They made connections with the local Palestinian people and adapted to their new home. Over time, their presence helped shape a new identity, Afro-Palestinian, a mix of African roots and Palestinian life. Despite their important contributions to Palestinian society and culture, Afro-Palestinians often face unfair treatment and disrespect, showing wider issues of racism and discrimination in the region. This unfair treatment comes in many forms, like not having the same chances for education, jobs, and homes as others. It also means being seen negatively because of stereotypes about their race. Historically, Afro-Palestinians have been pushed to the edges of society, dealing with being poor and left out. They face obstacles to moving up in society because of unfair systems that make it harder for them. These obstacles keep them stuck in poverty and feeling like they don't belong. Also, Afro-Palestinians often face unfair ideas about who they are because of their race. These ideas make them seem less important or valuable than others, which hurts their feelings and makes it hard for them to be seen and heard. Despite facing challenges like colonialism and displacement, these communities stayed strong, leaving a lasting impact on Palestine's identity and heritage. Their resilience and cultural contributions remind us of the bonds that unite people across borders and generations. Reflecting on the Afro-Palestinian communities in Jerusalem's Old City, we see how their stories shape the history of Palestine. Their voices echo in the walls of the Old City, reminding us of the diverse range of identities that comprise Palestinian cultural heritage. Number 2. Personal stories. Nisreen Salam's journey through the trials of racism and discrimination began at a young age. Despite being part of a community of at least 400 Afro-Palestinians residing in Jerusalem's Old City, adjacent to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, Nisreen recounts a troubling narrative of being targeted and verbally attacked due to her skin color and hair texture. As an Afro-Palestinian woman hailing from Egypt, she found herself at the intersection of multiple layers of prejudice within Palestinian society. Growing up in Palestine, Nisreen was confronted with verbal assaults and derogatory remarks from both Palestinians and Jews alike. These experiences were deeply hurtful, leaving her feeling ostracized and alienated from the community she called home. Despite the weight of these challenges, Nisreen displayed remarkable resilience and determination. Refusing to succumb to the hateful rhetoric directed towards her, she drew upon her inner strength and sense of self-worth to navigate the turbulent waters of racism. At a tender age, Nisreen recognized the importance of standing firm in the face of adversity, refusing to allow others to define her worth based on her skin color. Living in Palestine, Nisreen's experiences were compounded by the social dynamics of her surroundings. As one of the few Afro-Palestinians in her community, she often found herself among the least represented demographic, further isolating her from her peers. Despite these challenges, Nisreen persevered, finding solace in her close-knit family and unwavering sense of identity. The impact of racism extended beyond Nisreen's personal experiences, also affecting her family members. Her father, Ahmad Salam, shared his own encounters with discrimination, recounting incidents where he had been excluded or mistreated based on his skin color. These experiences deeply affected Nisreen, highlighting the pervasive nature of racism within Palestinian society and the urgent need for change. Despite the adversity they faced, Nisreen and her family refused to be defined by the prejudice of others. Instead, they drew strength from their shared experiences, forging bonds of solidarity and resilience that served as a source of inspiration for their community. Through their unwavering determination and commitment to justice, they emerged as beacons of hope in the fight against racism and discrimination in Palestine. Mohammed Abu Rashed and Abed al-Rag offer poignant perspectives on the experiences of Afro-Palestinians grappling with discrimination and prejudice in Palestine. Despite their youthful vigor, both individuals have encountered the harsh realities of racial bias and stereotyping in their everyday lives. Mohammed, a talented soccer player, navigates a sports landscape tainted by derogatory nicknames and racial taunts. Referred to as chocolate by some, he confronts the dehumanizing effects of racial stereotypes, which seek to diminish his worth based on the color of his skin rather than his athletic abilities. Yet, Mohammed refuses to be deterred by such obstacles, channeling his passion for soccer into a source of empowerment and resilience. His determination to excel on the field serves as a powerful rebuttal to the prejudices that seek to undermine his identity and potential. Similarly, Abed, a diligent worker at a grocery store, confronts suspicion and mistrust from customers who harbor preconceived notions about his capabilities based on his race. Despite his dedication to his job and commitment to providing excellent service, Abed finds himself subjected to unwarranted scrutiny and skepticism. Yet, rather than succumbing to disillusionment, Abed draws strength from his resilience, steadfastly challenging stereotypes and asserting his worth through hard work and dedication. Both Mohammed and Abed's stories underscore the inherent resilience and determination of Afro-Palestinian youth in the face of adversity. Despite the systemic barriers and societal prejudices they encounter, they refuse to be defined by the limitations imposed upon them. Instead, they forge their paths with courage and conviction, reclaiming their narratives and reshaping the narrative of Afro-Palestinian identity. In their pursuit of dreams and aspirations, Mohammed and Abed embody the spirit of resilience and defiance, inspiring hope for a future where all individuals are judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. The narratives shared by these people highlight the complex realities faced by Afro-Palestinians in navigating identity, belonging, and resilience amidst systemic racism and discrimination. Their stories serve as a poignant reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial justice and equality within Palestinian society. Afro-Palestinians refuse to be silenced or marginalized, instead asserting their identity and rights with courage and conviction. Number 3. Racism in Palestinian territories. In the complex socio-political landscape of the Palestinian territories, racism is a pervasive issue that affects Afro-Palestinians in various ways. While Palestinians often face discrimination and oppression from Israeli authorities, they are not immune to perpetuating prejudiced attitudes towards their fellow Afro-Palestinian citizens. Within Palestinian society, there exists a spectrum of attitudes towards Afro-Palestinians, ranging from acceptance and solidarity to prejudice and discrimination. Despite sharing a common struggle against Israeli occupation, Afro-Palestinians sometimes find themselves marginalized within their own communities, facing stereotypes and microaggressions based on their race and ethnicity. This prejudice is often rooted in historical and cultural factors, including societal perceptions of beauty, purity, and privilege. Lighter skin tones and Eurocentric features are often idealized, while darker skin tones and Afrocentric features may be stigmatized or viewed as inferior. These biases can manifest in everyday interactions, from casual remarks to systemic discrimination in areas such as employment, housing, and education. Moreover, the legacy of colonialism and imperialism has left lasting scars on Palestinian society, influencing attitudes towards race and ethnicity. Eurocentric beauty standards and hierarchies of privilege continue to shape perceptions of Afro-Palestinians, reinforcing systems of oppression and marginalization. In addition to prejudice from within Palestinian society, Afro-Palestinians also face discrimination and hostility from Israeli authorities. Racial profiling, arbitrary arrests, and disproportionate use of force are all too common experiences for Afro-Palestinian individuals living under Israeli occupation. As we confront the issue of racism in the Palestinian territories, it is essential to recognize the intersectional nature of oppression and the need for solidarity across racial and ethnic lines. Examples of racial profiling and microaggressions. In the Palestinian territories, Afro-Palestinians often find themselves subjected to racial profiling and microaggressions, both from Israeli authorities and within their own communities. These experiences contribute to a sense of alienation and marginalization, undermining their right to dignity and equality. Racial profiling by Israeli authorities is a common occurrence, with Afro-Palestinians disproportionately targeted for surveillance, harassment, and violence. Whether at checkpoints, during raids, or in everyday interactions with Israeli security forces, Afro-Palestinians are often singled out based on their race and ethnicity and subjected to arbitrary searches, detention, and abuse. Moreover, Afro-Palestinians face microaggressions in their daily lives, subtle forms of discrimination that perpetuate harmful stereotypes and reinforce systems of oppression. These microaggressions can take many forms, from comments about their appearance or cultural practices to assumptions about their intelligence or abilities. In Palestinian society, Afro-Palestinians may encounter similar forms of discrimination, albeit in different contexts. Stereotypes about their race and ethnicity can lead to exclusion, marginalization, and unequal treatment in areas such as education, employment, and social interactions. Afro-Palestinian children may face bullying and teasing at school, while adults may encounter barriers to advancement in their careers or discrimination in housing and healthcare. These examples of racial profiling and microaggressions underscore the pervasive nature of racism in the Palestinian territories and its detrimental impact on Afro-Palestinian communities. By shedding light on these experiences, we can work towards addressing systemic inequalities and building a more inclusive and equitable society for all. Impact on Afro-Palestinian communities' daily lives. The effects of racism on Afro-Palestinian communities are deeply felt in their daily lives, shaping their experiences and opportunities in significant ways. From navigating discriminatory practices to grappling with the psychological toll of prejudice and exclusion, Afro-Palestinians face numerous challenges as they strive to live with dignity and equality. One of the most immediate impacts of racism is the erosion of Afro-Palestinians' sense of safety and security. Constant surveillance, harassment, and violence from Israeli authorities create a climate of fear and distrust, undermining Afro-Palestinians' ability to move freely and participate fully in their communities. Everyday activities like going to school, work, or the market can become fraught with anxiety and uncertainty as Afro-Palestinians navigate checkpoints, arbitrary searches, and encounters with armed soldiers. In addition to the physical dangers posed by racial profiling and violence, Afro-Palestinians also grapple with the psychological toll of racism. Constant exposure to derogatory stereotypes, microaggressions, and systemic discrimination takes a toll on their mental health and well-being, leading to feelings of alienation, worthlessness, and despair. Moreover, racism affects Afro-Palestinians' access to essential services and opportunities. Discrimination in education, employment, and housing perpetuates cycles of poverty and marginalization, limiting Afro-Palestinians' ability to thrive and succeed. Lack of access to quality education and employment opportunities further exacerbates existing inequalities, trapping Afro-Palestinians in cycles of deprivation and exclusion. Despite these challenges, Afro-Palestinian communities demonstrate resilience and resistance in the face of adversity. Through grassroots organizing, advocacy, and cultural activism, they challenge systemic inequalities and demand recognition of their rights and humanity. By promoting empathy, understanding, and solidarity, Palestinians can work together to create a more inclusive society where all individuals are valued and respected, regardless of their race or ethnicity. It is only through recognizing and confronting the legacy of racism that Palestinians can truly fulfill the promise of justice and equality for all. Number 4. Moments of hope and solidarity. Despite facing pervasive racism and discrimination, Afro-Palestinian communities have demonstrated remarkable resilience and strength in the face of adversity. Through stories of resistance and resilience, community members inspire hope and solidarity among their peers. For example, Nisreen Salam's unwavering determination to embrace her identity and challenge prejudice serves as a powerful example of individual resilience. Similarly, Mohammed Abu Rashed's passion for soccer and Abed al-Ragh's commitment to his work exemplify the resilience of Afro-Palestinian youth in pursuing their dreams, despite systemic barriers. Confronting and challenging racism in Palestinian territories requires collective action and solidarity. Community members are calling for tangible steps to address systemic inequalities and promote inclusivity. This includes advocating for anti-discrimination policies, creating safe spaces for dialogue and education, and amplifying the voices of marginalized communities. By actively confronting racism and discrimination, Palestinians can create a more just and equitable society for all. At the heart of the struggle against racism lies a recognition of our shared humanity and the power of storytelling to foster empathy and understanding. By sharing their experiences and narratives, Afro-Palestinian communities reclaim their voices and challenge stereotypes and misconceptions. Through storytelling, individuals can connect on a deeper level, transcending divisions and fostering solidarity. By amplifying diverse voices and experiences, Palestinians can build a more inclusive society rooted in empathy, respect, and shared humanity. The moments of hope and solidarity emerge amidst the challenges faced by Afro-Palestinian communities. Palestinians can build a brighter future together by working collectively to challenge prejudice and discrimination. Palestinians can create a society where all individuals are valued, respected, and empowered to thrive. It is through unity, empathy, and solidarity that Palestinians can realize their shared vision of justice, equality, and dignity for all. It is essential to recognize the importance of amplifying marginalized voices and ensuring that all individuals are heard and valued. By centering the experiences of Afro-Palestinian communities, we can challenge stereotypes, confront prejudice, and work towards a future where diversity is celebrated and everyone can thrive. Together, we can create a world where justice, equality, and dignity are extended to all. We hope that this thought-provoking episode has left a lasting impression on you as we bring it to a close. We sincerely appreciate your continuous support, and we can't wait for you to return for our upcoming post. We kindly ask that you take the time to like and share this video if you find any value in what we discussed today. By sharing the video, you're supporting the development of our community, as well as improving the lives of others. Make sure you click the subscribe button and enable notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming releases. We assure you that you won't want to miss what's coming up next. We appreciate your participation in our journey. Until we meet again, continue to explore, learn, and inspire.